from createdtheottaway. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up here in the UK. Thank you for joining me today. Today's craft along video is, is this, a fun fold 3D card. I've made a video before of one that is a stand-in 3D card, and I was shuffling around looking for some ideas, and I thought, how about if we turned it on its side and made it this way round? I'm rather pleased how it came out. I love this paper. What is that paper? Something about butterflies. Let me quickly look in case you want to know, because you just flick past it in the catalogue, you really can't see it. Let's have a look. So it is Butterfly Kisses on page 31, just down the bottom there in that annual catalogue. So I've just used different pieces of that and just layered it up and fussy cut the butterflies on the front, and I'm really loving it. It's navy. I like Night of Navy as a background card, so that really pops off the page, and inside I've just decorated it, and I've used one of the stamp sets, Happiness Abounds, for the sentiments. Okay, I think that's it. So I was just going to show you how to make that all over again, but then I got a bit carried away, and so I'm going to show you the same version but stepped up a bit. So if you just want to cut your papers and just layer it like this, go for that. If you want to do the stepped up version, I'm going to show you that. Hopefully not too long a video. I've done a lot of prep. But the basic card is exactly the same. So let's craft. Okay, I'll put that there while I'm just chatting to you, because that's the card sizes that you'll need. Basically a sheet of A4 card will do all of those bits, and then if you want to put some different designer series paper on, you just need to add that on top of this card. So things that I am using very quickly, scalloped contours dies. We're using this one for the inside and this one here for the front. I am doing the Happiness Abounds stamp set again, so I've used some of the dies. We're using this one to do a bit of detail, and I haven't fussy cut this time. I have die cut the flowers. So the flowers are just like that, and the other thing I've done is stamped some leaves. Hopefully you can see that, and I've just coloured them actually with a stampin' marker, which I know doesn't give you blending, but I'm really pleased how that came out. So Stampin' Right markers are the ones that you can just colour directly on the stamp and get a nice image, so I quite liked the tone that it gave me. What else have I used? Sea Soft Foam Ink, ta-da! And this embossing folder, which is the Fern 3D embossing folder. Just really love how that comes out. And to make the print even sharper, you just spritz your card with a bit of water and it comes out really crisp. So let's craft. So I've got my Stampin' Up trimmer, and I've got a sheet of A4 soft sea foam. Right, now I've got that tongue tie out the way, I'm just going to say mint, is that right? Okay, so you are going to be cutting on the shorter side, and you are cutting at 4 1/8 inches, which basically is just cutting your A4 in half. Okay, so you're going to need that piece in a minute. You're going to use this piece, so that's 4 1/8. I'm going to turn it sideways, and on the long side I am cutting it at 11 1/2. So 11 1/2. Now that's practically the size of your A4. It just takes a little sliver off that you're not going to need. While you're still on the long side, we're going to score it in half, so that would be 5 3/4. So 5 3/4. Make sure you've got that cutting blade out the way. And that is scored in half. You just fold it, and that's the background. That's your base card there that you can see. So we're just going to put that to one side at the moment, and we're going to concentrate on this bit. Okay, so this is the other half that you cut off. Now this, we need to get 2 pieces of card out of this. So the first piece is going to be 4 1/2. So we already know it's 4 1/8. So I'm going to turn it on the long side again, and I'm going to cut it at 4 1/2. Okay, so just to double check my sizes, because there's nothing worse than starting prepping and you've got the wrong size. I'm going to check that that's 4 1/8, which it is. So the first piece needs to be 4 1/2 by 4 1/8. And then you're going to turn it on so it's got the 4 1/2 inch side at the top. Okay, and you are going to score it in 4 different places. Now the first, let's move that out of the way. The first 2 places are 1/2 and 1 1/4. So I find it easy to do it on this side. So I find the 1/2, move your cutting blade out the way, score it at 1/2, and then the next one is 1 1/4, which again I can still see on this side. So I'm going to do that as well. 1 1/4. So you've got 1/2, a 1 1/4. Then I'm going to flip it round so that I can do the other sizes, because there's not much room left there now. So the next one is 3 1/4. So 3 1/4. And the next one is 4. Okay. So that now gives me a piece that's got 4 score lines on. So 1/2, a 1 1/4, 3 1/4, and a 4. And again, I'm going to put that to one side while we finish the other piece. So with your leftover piece here, what we need now is a piece that is 5 1/4 by 3 1/8. Now we know that this width of it is 4 1/8. So we're going to cut it on the long side at 5 1/4. So 5 1/4, cut that piece off. You're probably not going to need that. You could use that bit to die cut your leaves or anything else. Just put that to one side. We don't need that. So we've got it at 5 1/4, but we need it at 3 1/8. So I've turned it sideways with the shorter side at the top, and I'm cutting that now at 3 1/8. Again, there's a piece that you don't need, so there is some little bits extra. Now on the long side, so you've got the 3 1/8 at the top, turn it sideways, so you've got the 5 1/4 at the top, and you're going to score it at 1/2 and 1 1/4. So the same as I did on the previous bit of card, I'm going to use this side. So 1/2. So I actually need to get the scoring blade out the way, the cutting blade out the way, do the 1/2 and then 1 1/4, like so. And that's it, that's all my pieces done. Okay, so let's bring them back in so you can see what they are. So you've got your base card like this, just got one score line. You've got this piece, which we're now just going to burnish. Don't bring my foam folder through. There's always something in there. Okay, let's just burnish those score lines. So that leaves you with something like that. Okay, like that shape. And that is going to go on that end, like that. And then you've got this piece with these 2 score lines. Just fold them over. And that bit is just going to go on there. Simple. Okay. So I said to you that this one I wanted to step it up a bit and just make it a little bit more detailed. Now I don't know how this is going to come out. It's just, you know, when you're playing about and you just, I don't know, get carried away, don't you? I knew I wanted to use the fern embossing folder, so I have cut a piece that fits exactly on here, all bar 1 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so I'm going to put that straight on the back. If you're just using your designer series paper, it's exactly the same size. So it's 5 5/8 by 4. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that on and hope that this all comes good. Okay, so I've already embossed it. I am praying to the craft fairy, glue fairy, please give me some glue, because this needs to stick. Yay, she heard me. Okay, so I'm just putting some glue all over that, because I really do want it to stick. All over. Hopefully that's enough. Oh. Turn it over. Now you could put this either way round. It's designed that way so you can put it whether you want the imprint outwards or inwards. So I'm just looking at my base card and just making sure there's a bit of a frame all the way round, and I'm just pressing that down firmly. Now what I tend to do is turn my card over, because that gives you more purchase and you're not so worried about rubbing away the embossing. Not that you could, but it still feels like you're pressing down on the embossing, so I always turn it over and do it. Okay, so that's ta-da. Now I'm going to do this bit next. So this is the bit that's got the 4 score lines are, and that's going to go right on this edge. So it's this bit on the front of the card. Now I'm not sure about this bit. I feel like it looks okay plain, but does it need something else? So I have cut my pieces. So on this one I've cut a front panel there, a side panel and a side panel, and those sizes are 1 7/8 by 4. Okay, that's that one. And then 2 that are 5/8 by 4. And what I thought is I would go around with my stampin'Up marker, because if I laid soft sea foam card on top of soft sea foam, what's the point? You wouldn't really see it. But I do want it to look like there is a panel. So I am going to go around the edge of my card and just sort of angle my pen so you can see a border all the way round. Now I'm not sure if this is going to be enough to make it stand out, but I'm going to have a go and see what we think, because I'm not sure if I want to stamp all over it. Let's have a look. So it does stand out a bit. What about if we did this thick one on the front, this bigger piece? So first of all I go along the edge with my pen, and just to colour the edge, and then I go at an angle so you get a line all the way around. Now you could do this with a sponge dauber, you could do it with a blending brush if you want, but I don't want such a strong colour, I just want a hint of it. So I'm just doing it with the edge of my pen. So along the edge and then bring it back around there. Okay, like that. Yeah, that's quite nice. And this one for the other side. I was thinking about stamping with the stamp set one of the flowers, but again I think that would just clash with my embossed fern, because I don't want that to be lost. So let's just do this. So all I've done is gone through round each panel, and I'm just going to stick them on now. Make sure you stick the right side that you've done all the effort on, like so. So this panel will just go down this side. Okay, so can you see how subtle that is? May not even be able to pick that up on camera, but it just gives like a column effect. So it is definitely worth doing. You have to be in person to see it. That's the only trouble sometimes when you're doing video craft alongs. You can't really get the wow unless you're in person. But give it a go. Okay, so that's that one. And then I've got this one here for the other side. I'm actually quite pleased with how that's come out. So let's have a look with this one. Okay. So that's exactly right on there. Then you'll notice that the two end pieces don't have anything, and that's because they're going to be glued down. So we're going to do that now. I'm going to put glue on this one, just on this tab, and I am going to do glue on the other one at the same time, so that I can glue it all in one go. Okay, make sure the opening is away from you. Fold this one under, and it lines up exactly with the edge of your card. Okay, make sure you haven't got any inky fingers, and just hold that in place. Now you can see there that my glued edge is up, so I'm just going to fold that back, but not just one, two, so that the thin column and the glued panel are behind, and I'm just going to press down on that as well. Okay, so that gives you that nice shape there. And when I think that that is stuck, this might take a little more few seconds because of the embossing. I know I could just emboss this bit, but I want the card not to look bitty, I want it to look wholesome. Okay, so if I bring that back now, that's that panel. Ta-da! Okay, so now we do the next bit. So this bit is going to stick on here, but I do want this to stand out from the embossing. So what I've done, which I did on a previous card, hi Rose, I've used this Blossoming Happiness die, and what it does is it leaves a cutting like that. So some of the bits come out and some of them don't. I'm not too worried if they do or they don't. I might just poke a few more out, because what I'm going to do you want to go out, Rose? Hang on. There you go. Have a nice day. Okay, so I've just poked some of the holes out of there, and I want it to pop off the page. If I just put it on there, yes, you can see the detail, but it's nothing special. So I've cut a piece of silver foiled card, and I'm just going to layer that behind. I've just done it ever so slightly smaller so that you can't see the edge, but I'm going to stick that on. So this piece, did I tell you what this piece was? Don't think I did. It is 3 7/8. No, this bit is 3 7/8 by 3, and that layers on. So I am just going to stick it onto the silver foil first. So I'm just putting it wherever there's a gap on the back, where it's a good place for the Tombow glue. You can use whatever you like. I use Tombow because of the wiggle room. Do I want any more poked out? I don't think I do. So I am just going to put that straight on there, just so I can see. I'm going to turn it over just so that I can see where the edge is, so that you can't see any of the silver from the other side. So that's just going to stick on there, like so. Can you see that? Very beautiful. Okay, so let's move those out of the way. It's almost like there's little hearts on there. Now this comes back over, and that's going to stick on to there. So again, there's a little bit of an edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat what I did on the other columns, just because I do really want this to pop off the front. So I'm just going around the edge, just with my soft sea foam. See, I knew I'd get it right by the end of the video. There you go. And I'm just going along the edge there as well, just to really make it stand out. Okay, oh, let's put the top on that before I forget. So that now is going to go on there. Now you could put that on with dimensionals. I think that would look okay. I don't think I'm going to for this one. Let's have a look. So I'm just going to stick this one straight on, just to see what that looks like. Now, what did I want to tell you about this? So the die that did this, I moved it, hang on, if I put it like that, so that it was actually in the middle of the card. It's not straight, it doesn't matter. You don't even notice that. You're so busy looking at the beautiful card, you're not worrying about whether it's lined up. So that's that piece. So if I bring this back over now, what we need to do is put this bit on here, but so it still folds in the card. So if you bring that piece down, hang on, let's put some glue on it first. So this end panel here, you're putting some glue on that. Okay, so on that end panel. And then on the back of this, along this edge, put a thin strip of glue, okay? And hold it in one hand. This one you put down. This one you fold back, right back like that, and line up this edge with the edge of your card, okay? A lot to remember in one go, because what you're also doing is looking to make sure this is roughly in the middle, okay? So make sure the edge is lined up there, press that down. Press this one down here, because that's where you put the line on the back, okay? And remember, it's on the embossing folder, so I'm just going to press for an extra few seconds. And then we might have a ta-da moment. Or nearly, we just need to decorate it. Okay, so now when I push that back like so, there you go. Now the only thing I haven't done is I haven't put a panel down here, and I'd quite like to have one just so it ties it up. So this one is 5/8 by 3, and I'm just going to do the green edging around the side, just because I don't want any bits on my card that don't look like they're finished. So let's just do that piece, just so it all ties in and you're happy with what you're gifting to somebody. Okay, so I put some glue on there. So remember, this is only 3 inches because it's this panel here. And I'm just putting that on there. And now I'm happy because it feels like the card is made. The inside is this, okay? So let's do that. Stamp set. So I am using Happiness Abounds, and I'm actually combining 2 stamps. So on the front, I'm going to put Wishing You All the Happiness You Can Imagine. And inside, I'm putting You Are Wonderful in Every Way and Happy Birthday. So I'm going to stamp the Happy Birthday first, just because that will give me a guide of where I want to put the sentiment. So let's get that out. Happy birthday. I always do my stamps diagonally, just because it helps me focus on the stamp and not on the block. So happy birthday. I want to leave a bit of room to write my sentiments, so up a little bit. Happy birthday, like so. And then you are wonderful in every way. That's what it said, didn't it? And I like the 2 fonts on this. There's a couple of different fonts which really make it stand out. Like that. You're wonderful in every way. So that gets put inside. Put some glue on that. You could stamp some of the flowers as well if you want to. Make it your own. That's what this is all about. Do the craft along tutorial and then make it your own. So that's just going to go in the middle. I just feel like that lifts the card because it's not just a plain inside. Okay, so that's the inside. The front, so what was I going to use? On my previous one, I used this one, but I don't know if that's going to hide too much of that, unless I put it there. That might work, because you could see the silver foil then. Let's stamp it and see. So this time we are using the other sentiment, which is wishing you all the happiness you can imagine. That's a lovely thing to wish somebody. Put that sentiment on, and I'm going to try and get it in the middle, like so. Like that. Okay, I'm not going to stick that down yet. I'm going to have a little bit of a play. So I have got some flowers, white on white. Do I want them all around one edge? Not sure. What do you think? Then I've got some leaves. Got those ones. Those ones. Let's just go for it. Honestly, what can go wrong? Okay, let's do it. Because you know what happens, you just faff about and then you keep changing your mind. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to fold that down. Just sticking it to that bit. Bring that back up. This one, let me get some dimensionals. Oh, new pack of dimensionals. These. So I have just shaped these ever so slightly with well actually it's with a pen. I've got a pen that's got a really good ball on the end, and I just rub it round and round and round, and it shapes them ever so slightly. It doesn't work anymore, but it's perfect for this. So let's do that, because I don't want flat flowers, but I don't want them to really sticking out. So that's going to go there, because I still want them to be able to read the sentiment. And this one, and I'm only putting one dimensional on. There is a reason for that. It's so that when I come to do my leaves, they will tuck behind. So there's a leaf. Just putting a little bit of glue on one end, and I am going to tuck that behind there. Okay, and I've got another leaf there. That is going to tuck there, behind there. Ta-da. Oh, that moved quite a bit. Let's put that back. And what else have I got? I've got these. So I'm going to put these back here, but I'm actually going to put a dimensional on that one so that it is raised up. So it gives it a bit of depth, like so. And I think that's it. I'm not going to fuss with that anymore. I've also got some vellum leaves that I might add in as well. Yeah, let's do that. That looks nice. Oh, goodness me, it's got stuck. Okay, so I am going to put some little bit of glue just on the stalky bit, because that's going to get tucked behind, like so. Okay, like that. And I'm going to do another one up the top, barely see them. Another one here. Yeah. So that is going to tuck there. I'm just going to press down on that, so I'm going to fold it flat. Okay, and then I've got this really old retired punch that I've just punched out some tiny flowers that are silver, and I'm going to put those in 3 places. 1, 2, 3. So one is going there, like so. One is going there, like so. And one is going there, like that. Ta-da! We have a card. Okay, so standard Just Designer Series paper makes a beautiful make. Coordinate your papers and really make it pop. This one has got a bit of embossing, a bit of die cutting, a bit of stamping. They're both decorated on the inside. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that. And best of all, folds flat for posting. So what do you think? Which one is your favourite? Hopefully you've enjoyed crafting along with me. I hope you give this card a go. If you're in the UK and you'd like to shop some of these supplies, you can find me at createdtheottaway.co.uk. If you would just like to share your make with me, because that's what crafting's all about, sharing inspiration with each other, please do send me a pic. You can find me on Instagram under Created the Ottaway, or even on Facebook under Created the Ottaway. I'd love to hear from you. But that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Bye.